Did you know that only 26% of US households own a Roth IRA? So let me ask you, what does your Roth IRA look like right now? If your answer is a shrug, you're not alone. Just like those Houston Texans wondering why they're last in the division. I'm a Colts fan, so come at me, bro. But anyway, I sit down with my clients all the time who have built incredible TSP balances but left their Roth IRA untouched. And that's a huge missed opportunity because if you're serious about retiring, especially retiring early, your Roth IRA could be the difference maker. So let me show you the three real reasons funding a Roth IRA is not optional. It's essential. First up, access. Let's get right to the point. You can take out every single dollar you have ever contributed to a Roth IRA at any time for any reason without paying a dime in taxes or penalties. It's your money and you can get to it. You cannot do that with a Roth TSP as long as you're still employed. The Roth IRA, on the other hand, gives you this incredible escape hatch. And the contributions you put in are treated like a bank account you can access in a pinch. The IRS figures, hey, you already pay taxes on that money, so it's yours. Now, you might be thinking, well, how much can that really amount to? Let's run some numbers. Let's say starting in 2025, you max out your Roth IRA every single year for the next 20 years. We'll even assume the contribution limit just gets a 3% bump for inflation each year. If you do that, you would have put in very close to $200,000 of your own money over the course of 20 years, just in contributions. That's the seed money. And that's the principle you planted so that all the earnings on top of it can grow and grow completely tax-free, by the way. So how does this all play out in an early retirement scenario? And imagine you decide to pull the plug on work at age 50 and you're done, but you cannot touch your TSP or other retirement accounts without penalties for another 9.5 years. Unless you're a special provision federal employee. But anyway, what do? This is where that Roth IRA becomes your secret weapon. You could theoretically pull that $200,000 in contributions to bridge the gap. And over the course of roughly 10 years until you hit 59 and a half, that's an extra $20,000 a year of income tax-free. And that could be the difference between a stressful early retirement and a comfortable one. Plus, it could pay for your health insurance, cover property taxes, or fund your travel plans. Now, the downside is that you slow down your tax-free growth. And personally, I don't want to touch my Roth IRA for a long time. And I look at it as my golden goose, the last bucket of money I will ever spend because I want to let that tax-free compounding work its magic for as long as possible. But of course, life happens. And having options is the cornerstone of a solid financial plan. And if you ever need income before your other retirement accounts are available, having access to your Roth IRA contributions gives you a safety net that's hard to put a price on. And it is your financial safety net. The second reason is something that I talk about all the time, and that's tax diversification. It's a simple concept that has profound implications for your retirement. And most federal employees and veterans I see have the vast majority, if not all, of their retirement savings in a traditional pre-tax account, like the traditional TSP. And this means you got a tax break on the way in, which is great, but it also means every single dollar you pull out in retirement is going to be taxed as ordinary income. You have essentially been deferring your tax bill for decades, and eventually the IRS is going to come knocking, ready to collect. You don't want all your money in one tax bracket. You want to diversify. You want some pre-tax money, and you absolutely want some post-tax Roth money, right? And that's why your Roth IRA is the perfect vehicle for this. It provides a source of completely tax-free income once you're 59 and a half and have had the account for 5 years. But why is this so important? Because it gives you control, plain and simple. Let's say you're retired and you need a new roof, or you decide it's finally time to buy that little vacation cabin you've always dreamed of. And that's a large lump sum expense. If your only option is to pull that money from your traditional TSP, that huge withdrawal could rocket you into a much higher tax bracket for the year and creating a massive and frankly unnecessary tax bill. But if you have a healthy Roth IRA, you can pull the money from there or some of it. No tax bill, no change to your income, and no problem, right? You control your taxes. They don't control you. And get this, as of July, the entire TSP is sitting on over $1.02 trillion, and that money is spread across 7.25 million of you. But the thing is, out of that massive $1 trillion pot, only $81 billion is in the Roth TSP. And it's not just about the money. It's about how many people even use the Roth side. Out of these 7.25 million accounts, only 2.82 million have a Roth balance at all. And if you do the math, the average Roth balance is about 35,600. Compare that to the average total account of over $205,000. See what I mean? The majority of folks are sitting heavily on the traditional side. Now, if you're under the old CSRS system, it's even more tilted. Out of 229,000 CSRS accounts, only about 8,800 even have Roth money at all. Their average Roth balance is a little higher, around 43,400, but let's be real, almost no one in the group is using the Roth side. Now, I get it. Maybe your income is high right now and you're in a high marginal tax bracket. And you might be thinking, it doesn't make sense for me to switch my TSP contributions from traditional to Roth and pay these high taxes now. Fair enough. But that's the beauty of the Roth IRA. You don't have to completely change your TSP strategy. Just putting that $7,000 or $8,000 with a catch-up contribution for those over the age of 50 into a separate Roth IRA each year starts to build that tax-free bucket. And it's a simple, powerful step that provides that flexibility and diversification you're going to be so grateful for later on. This brings me to the third reason, and that's the required minimum distributions, or RMDs. Unlike your traditional TSP, your Roth IRA has no RMDs for you, the original owner. And if you have not taken RMDs seriously yet, you need to start now. The IRS lets you defer taxes on your traditional accounts, like your traditional TSP growth, for decades, but they don't let you do it forever. If you were born between 1951 and 1959, you have to start taking RMDs at 73. If you were born in 1960 or later, the RMD age is 75. So most of you watching this video need to know that starting at the age of 75, the IRS will force you to start taking money out, whether you need it or not. So they can finally get their tax revenue. And I know what you're going to say. I'm only 30, 40, or 50. So why should I even worry about the RMDs? That's not going to happen to me for another 20, 30, or 40 years. And I've met clients in their 40s and 50s who already have over $1 million in their traditional TSP. That's incredible. A real testament to their savings habits. However, we have to play the tape forward. With continued contributions and market growth over the next few decades, that account will likely be worth $2 million, $3 million, or even $5 million by the time they're in their 70s. And that's when the RMD problem gets very real. Now, let's say you turn 75 and you have $1 million in your traditional TSP. According to the IRS Uniform Lifetime Table, the distribution period for age 75 is 24.6. So you have to divide your account balance by that number. Your RMD for that year will be $1 million divided by 24.6, which comes out to about $40,650. Now, that $40,651 is fully taxable income. And let's say you also have a pension of $40,000 a year, you now have to add that $40,650 to your pension and giving you a total income of over $80,000, not including the standard deduction. If you're single, that alone puts you squarely in the 22% marginal tax bracket. If you're married and filing taxes jointly, that might keep you in the 12% bracket, but we're just getting started. Because it doesn't stop there, the RMD gets bigger every year. For one, your account is still likely growing. And two, the divisor from the IRS table gets smaller as you get older. So let's say by the time you're 80, your account has grown to $1.5 million. At age 80, the divisor shrinks to 20.2. Your RMD is now 1.5 million divided by 20.2, which is a whopping $74,257. That's almost $75,000 of forced income you have to take and pay taxes on top of your pension and on top of Social Security. The older you get, the bigger your TSP becomes, but your RMDs also become bigger and your tax bill can become absolutely significant, eating away at the legacy you hope to leave. However, there is a way to avoid your RMDs by using your Roth IRA during your early retirement years. And so picture this. You retire early at age 55 and you have money coming in from your traditional TSP under the rule of 55, first pension or military pension that can pay for your early retirement expenses. If your marginal tax rate has been significantly reduced because you retired early, this might be a chance for you to take advantage of the traditional TSP to Roth IRA conversion to avoid the RMDs by the time you're 75. And remember, doing your Roth conversions before collecting your Social Security or enrolling in Medicare could save you thousands more in taxes because your taxable income will increase with your Social Security pension, and the IRMA can also change in the years you make Roth conversions because they will add to your taxable income. And I'm going to make a separate video about this in the future, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't done it already. But let me explain quickly how a Roth conversion works. You take money from your traditional TSP, you move it into a Roth IRA, and you pay the taxes on it in the year of the conversion. Once it's in the Roth, it grows tax-free, and you will never owe taxes on it again. You don't have to worry about the RMDs for the Roth. Now, let's run a couple of simple examples. Let's say you're single and retired, and your taxable income is $70,000. In 2025, that would put you in the 22% marginal bracket. If you convert an extra $10,000 from your traditional TSP to your Roth IRA, you're paying 22% on that conversion, so $2,200 in taxes. But that $10,000 is now Roth money. It will never be taxed again. If you're married, filing jointly with the same $70,000 income, you're actually sitting in the 12% bracket. And that means you could convert an extra $10,000 and only pay $1,200 in taxes. That's a bargain. That's how you strategically move money over to Roth without getting hammered. And don't forget about the state income tax. Now, I'll be honest, nobody likes paying extra taxes today, but think about the trade-offs. Would you rather pay 12% or 22% now, or risk paying much more later when your RMDs force you into higher brackets? The best time to convert may come between your early retirement years until you start collecting Social Security or enrolling in Medicare. Your personal finance is personal for a reason, so be sure to talk to a professional before doing so. So look, your TSP is a great foundation, but it's not the whole story. If you're serious about early retirement, your Roth IRA has to be part of the plan. And otherwise, you're leaving flexibility, tax savings, and control on the table. And trust me, the IRS does not need another tip jar. Let me know in the comment section down below if you max out your Roth IRA every year. And you can always schedule a 60-minute consultation with me by visiting firesignature.com/consultation. And this has been another beast of a video, and we got a lot out of it.